we were hoping Army could get us extended into the ball game. Clearly that got away from us in the second inning. Monty did a nice job. He came in, had one of his better outings. I thought out of the gates he didn't quite have total feel for what he was doing, but in the middle part of his outing, he was very good. He had his cutter was in play today, which has not been for recent outings, and he kept the fastball down nicely there in the middle part of that game and kind of kept us in it. Bryce was good today. We had a tough time with recognition of the off-speed pitches. His fastball had just enough, and then the changeup and the breaking pitches that he used, that he mixed with, we clearly had a very difficult time deciphering what was what, and the at-bat suffered because of it. Good to see Cam deliver a big AB. There's way more of that coming with him, as we've talked about, but very difficult. They played great. I thought the arms they ran out clearly did a nice job. They played solid defense, and the hitting was timely enough to put him in position to take a commanding lead.
Coach, just unable to find the consistency of the play after a really nice Friday night. Just what's the message to these guys about finding it and maybe figuring it out?
Right. Well, the most difficult part of this, we work on the swing and the technique of what they're doing individually, but we ask them to bear down on the pitch recognition, and they have the access to the video to try to make sure they're seeing and reviewing the at-bat and trying to figure out how to do a little better job with just pitch recognition. Pitch recognition involves takes, it involves swings. That is the most difficult part of this at the plate, bar none. Like, that's the hardest thing. And clearly we have guys that are going through it, and you have 3 or 4 freshmen involved in it, and some of the other younger guys are just being pitched in a way and with stuff that they haven't logged a ton of at-bats. So the recognition, sometimes it takes at-bats and learning and seeing pitches and learning what it looks like and how you're matched up and how you're being pitched, whether it's by a team in particular or whether it's by one pitcher. And we talk about the approaches being they're one-pitch battles. And we're not winning a lot of the one-pitch battles at the plate at the moment. There have been times we have, but it seems like when the caliber of the secondary stuff clicks up, that one click, the recognition simply suffers.
Between Baumeister, Whitaker yesterday, and Montgomery, your pitching did do you a little bit of favors to keep you guys when you guys are a little lower, to keep you guys a little more fresh for moving forward, right?
Correct. Those guys, they did a fine job, and we're trying to find the happy spot for Monty and how to maximize what he's doing. And he's had some solid outings out of the pen where all of a sudden it's Monty, we need you at a level 2, and then Monty, we need you hot, and let's go. And I think he's handled that pretty well. Whitaker's going to do everything you ask every time you give him the ball. His starts have been fine. And Baumeister, as we've talked after his Friday outings, the trend is in a positive direction, and he's gaining confidence from each one of those innings and the outings and the feel for the breaking ball. We were talking today, I was talking to him about his breaking ball, and you can just feel the confidence growing as he logs these starts and figures himself out. So I have no problem with that. Just the consistency of some of the other guys that we're using in relief, it seems like sometimes we're getting a really good performance, and then sometimes it's hard to believe it's the same individual that we saw out there last time. So that comes with growth and experience and work, and them learning themselves and us learning what situations suit them best. But those 3 guys have done a nice job.
You mentioned the cutter with Monty. I think Jamie threw a couple of changeups as well today. I guess you guys just try to work in some extra variance with some of these guys moving forward.
Yeah, Jamie with the crossfire fastball like that is one of his best features. Maybe his best feature is the ability to stuff that fastball in on the righties, but the complement to that would be the softer changeup that works away. And it wasn't something, and most of your high school arms don't feature a great changeup because of what they've done to navigate high school hitters. Well, now you get to this, and you need that pitch in play. And his sliders has been okay, but the left-handed pitcher with a nice changeup is a gift. And It's one of the best weapons in baseball. So we talked about that 2.5 weeks ago when we really broke down what this looked like, and that dimension, we saw it today. Was it consistently commanded? No. Was it in play? Yes. Were there some good ones? Yes, there were. So that's positive, and we're going to need a lot more of that out of him. He's going to find himself starting games again, and we've seen him function in that. And then we've seen a couple outings out of the bullpen, which I thought his stuff was the best I had seen it. But again, we're trying to figure out what suits them best with these roles.
Just how good was it to see Cam get the bat head out there and
Huge.
do what he does?
Huge. Like he is so conscious of staying on the ball and trying to hit the ball the other way that sometimes the ability to actually deliver and release that bat hit is something that's not in play as much for him, but he's going to figure this out. And the conversations and the sessions we have on the swing and what he's doing, you can see that these are things that young hitters, not just him, Diames, Kamaka, Benny Barrett, there's things young hitters are thinking through for the first time. And when you're competing at this level with the caliber of arms that we've seen for the last 7-8 weeks, it requires the knowledge and the understanding of how you're being pitched and what to do with it. So it was good to see him turn on that ball. And he said he didn't hit it well. So I said, all right, well, it must be nice to feel that way when you don't hit one well.
Coach, you touched on happy moments and finding those happy spots and more consistent moments. Do you feel like, just as some of these guys see more and, the arms maybe find some more of that consistent stuff, that more of those will string together?
Talking about the pitching in particular?
Yeah, pitching, just happy spots at the plate, consistency.
Well, yes, and the experience and the confidence and like how that really evolves. Like some success is the way that you start to gain some confidence, and clearly the experience factor and trying to learn on the fly with some of this is difficult. Now, you do see some of these guys that we see tremendous peaks and valleys. We try to point out both. Like there are good moments and really good at-bats, and then there's disgusting at-bats and very difficult moments, and we have to balance that out for them, but they need to recognize it, and that's truly the way they'll grow. And as they can start to push aside some of the poor swing decisions, you'll see the capabilities increase and their production will take off.